Gobble gobble, motherfuckers. It's Thanksgiving week, and welcome to the Grindhouse Syndicate Thanksgiving Special. We got college students, fake mustaches, terrible cinematography, boobs, both men and women's, and a motherfucking killer turkey. Because today, we are covering 2007's train wreck of a movie, Thankskilling.
Nice tits, bitch.
Nice tits, bitch. I looked up the quotes for this. It's like, oh, I should just read the quotes off from this movie. they're fantastic.
Yeah, I actually took quite a few of them down.
This is a very quotable movie. I hope that everyone here is buckled up because this shit gets crazy. And if you're like easily offended by stuff, probably not the movie for you.
Yeah, if the line "nice tits, bitch" already rubbed you the wrong way, this isn't going to be your episode.
I mean, it's not as bad as Poltergeist, which was a lot more offensive.
I don't know. We haven't watched all of Poltergeist.
We watched the trailer for it though.
You think that just the trailer was more offensive?
Then we remember you like read something about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, this movie goes
I
hard."
did read the synopsis.
We do want to give you guys a heads up though. We have an episode coming out closer to the end of the year where we won't necessarily be covering a movie like normal. We will be revealing our personal list of best horror movies of 2023. We'll talk about some of our favorite movies of the year and why. We're going to do separate lists, so we'll kind of see how these lists compare. We'll kind of talk about that. And we will also fill you guys in on a little of what's to come for the show in 2024. So during Thanksgiving, if you find yourself grateful for this awesome show and you want to be more informed or just say hey, you can always find us at one of our social media accounts. Facebook at the Grindhouse Syndicate Horror Podcast, Instagram at Grindhouse.Horror.Pod, and we got some TikTok videos that go up every now and then at the Grindhouse Horror Podcast at Grindhouse.Horror.Pod. And as always, except for the Halloween episode, you can find this stuff in the show notes. I went back and looked and seen which one I forgot.
Oh, you did? You got it.
It was Rob Zombie's Halloween. We got a comment from Chris Hansen. That's Chris Hansen, who said that Rob Zombie is the Scarface of dirt.
Uh-huh.
Solid comment.
Good stuff.
Thankskilling is a 2007 American independent black comedy slasher film, written and directed by Jordan Downey and co-written by Brad Schultz, Tony Wilson, Grant Yaffe, and Kevin Stewart. These names are so much easier than last episode when we did the Polish.
Yeah, I don't think it gets much worse than that.
Yeah, I had a really rough time last episode trying to pronounce all the Polish names. And then we got to this one and everyone just has normal names. So, thank God. It was followed by a 2012 sequel titled Thankskilling 3. There's no Thankskilling 2, in case you're confused. The $112,000 budget of which was raised through a Kickstarter campaign. It is starring Wanda Lust. Yes, the porn star Wanda Lust. I'd never heard of her.
I hadn't either. I knew as soon as I seen in the cast it was Wanda Lust. I knew what she did for a living.
Yeah, as soon as I seen her last name, I just pretty much knew. Chuck Lamb, Ryan Francis, Aaron Carlson, General Bastard. That can't be his real name. Lance Priedmore, Natasha Cordova, and Lindsay Anderson. The cinematography and editing was done by Kevin Stewart. The production company was In Broad Daylight Films, and it was released on December 8th, 2007 at the Sacramento Horror Film Festival. It is 70 minutes long, and it is reported to have a budget of just $3,500, but I have seen the director say that the movie was made for like $10,000, so somewhere between $3,500 and $10,000. I don't know.
It's a big difference.
Yeah,
it's like 3 times more than what it's reported.
I don't really know where the price difference of this. Where I don't know. I
guess when movies are this small, they just don't even keep track of what they're spending money on.
Yeah, they probably bought a lot of shit over a period of time. I know a lot of the special effects stuff, kind of leftover special effects stuff that they had from other stuff that they had done. So I guess that was weird. That was
weird. What the fuck was that?
It was like gases came up through my mouth as I was talking.
That's gross. Cut that out.
Oh, I will. It was shot in 11 days during the summer of 2006 at Denison University in Granville, Ohio. While Jordan Downey was in college, they originally printed 1,000 DVDs and sold them online out of their apartment.
Man, I would love to have a copy of one of those first 1,000.
Yeah, so, this movie has definitely gotten bigger than they ever thought it was. And now, if you actually have one of those original copies, it's kind of like people who collect DVDs collect that.
Like me.
Yes. You probably won't get your hands on this, though.
No, probably not. So I assume they're probably pretty hard to come across.
Yeah. It's probably sitting in like a box in someone's house who doesn't really know. Because I just picture them, like the guys at the gas station that try to sell you their mixtapes. I just picture like somebody was walking past and they were like, "Hey, will you buy our movie?" And they were like, just gave them the $5 just so they can move on without any confrontation. Just like, please leave me alone. I'll give you money and take your stupid movie.
Like Anthem.
Yeah, oh God.
I got party songs. I got baby mama drama songs.
Baby mama drama. I got turkey mama drama going on. I got Thanksgiving family drama songs.
Got your dad loses his face songs.
I got your dad is ashamed of you because you're the second string quarterback songs.
I got turkey slutty incest songs.
Oh, this could go on for an hour. The film was eventually picked up by a company who had a this is gonna be a hard episode to get through. Yeah. So it was picked up by a company who had a distributing deal with Warner Brothers.
Got those Turkey in the Hood songs.
I got the distributing drama songs. From there, it was added to video on demand, which was really new at the time. I seen Jordan Downey actually talking about that, and he said when they made this deal and they were telling they were going to put it on video demand, he said they had to explain what that was because I didn't know what that meant. And they were kind of like, "Oh man, like our movie's not going to be like put in stores, like it's going to be on video on demand, like." Yeah, we're getting the shaft here, but I guess we'll take what we can get. So it ended up being available because of this deal. It ended up being available on Netflix, iTunes, and Blockbuster streaming app, where it gained a cult following.
They got that turkey shaft.
Eventually having many articles written about it, including in Fangoria magazine. Review-wise, here we go.
Oh yeah, well I'd like to hear how everybody else came up with these reviews because I sure as hell had a hard time.
It has been called cheerfully awful by the Boston Globe, and Peter Culver from the Badger Herald said, "Ultimately, there's not much else to say about this mountainous pile of garbage. There's more entertaining bad movies, there's better movies about unlikely murderous animals, and there's better Thanksgiving movies. For your own sake, please just don't."
Who does he work for again?
I probably
exactly. Exactly. Nobody
doesn't
knows
work there anymore, but the ratings of this movie is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Rotten Tomatoes has got a 42%. This movie got a higher rating than House of a Thousand Corpses.
That's the first thing I thought. Then they give House of a Thousand Corpses a 27.
It was like a 23.
Yeah, that's That's ridiculous.
Thankskilling, according to Rotten Tomatoes,
did they
is
watch
twice
this
as
movie?
good as House of a Thousand Corpses.
They either didn't watch this or they didn't watch House. You know what? I'm just convinced that people didn't actually watch House of a Thousand Corpses. They're like, oh, that's that guy from that stupid fucking White Zombie band. I'm not watching his movie.
House of a Thousand Turkeys.
Stuck up movie people with no good music taste. House of a
I just picture a turkey laughing like baby.
Did you imagine Turkey having like Otis, like playing that Otis part? Like somebody with the turkey puppet, like brain freeze.
The crust on my turkey skull is preventing me from... Speaking of Otis, Bill Moseley had a birthday. Like a day yesterday.
He's not dead?
He is not dead.
Holy shit. He's getting older. He's the opposite of dead. He's getting closer though.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill Moseley, for having more birthdays. We appreciate you being around.
This is our annual episode. Thankful for Bill Moseley.
I got Bill Moseley tracks.
I got those pilgrim titty tracks.
I got your car breaking down and then you go into some creepy house and then them killing you tracks. IMDb gave this a 4.2 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 2.2 out of 5. And it was hard to find the average audience rating on Google, but I did find 59%. Now, when I was looking for this 59%, I actually pulled up the reviews people wrote first. And what is hilarious is every single person who sat and wrote a review, which is like 159 people, gave it a 5 stars. I feel like they're just trolling Google rating at this point.
Yeah. This is not a 5-star movie. I'm just gonna
to some it may be.
No, it's not a bad movie, but if you're gonna grade a movie on overall, like everything, like at all parts of a movie, there's no way that this got a 5-star. I'm just saying that now. Like, just for the cameraman alone.
The cameraman,
cinematography.
The cameraman, he has some problems.
He's nearsighted.
He's actually, in my opinion, probably the biggest problem with this movie.
Yeah, it's fucking horrendous.
Yeah,
I feel like, my question was, it's so fucking bad. Did they do it purposely bad? Because that's like the theme of this movie. It's just so ridiculous.
I don't think so.
Like, that was my same question with the acting. Like, was the acting purposefully that fucking bad?
The acting was they got whoever they could get. But so he did say that they filmed it on just a regular digital camera. He was like, we didn't really have like any real cameras. So when we filmed this movie.
Oh, well, they could have still stood further back.
Yeah. The shots, a lot of these shots are way too close to people's faces, like uncomfortably close. And then there are a couple shots where you're just like, oh, you should have reshot that. There's one I'll mention toward kind of the beginning that is hilarious.
There's one at the end that I'll bring up when we get there, but it drove me fucking nuts.
I got camera problem tracks. If you would really like to check out this mountainous pile of garbage, you can absolutely find it on Tubi. I love Tubi. I got a picture that I'm going to post later to our social media that is Tubi related that I got excited when I see.
Is it just a Tubi ad? Are we just going to put ads on them on our social medias now for free?
I have to show it to you.
I'm telling you, man, I know those checks are coming in. You're just not telling me about it.
Yeah, Tubi ended up having a lot of movies. Like everyone that we talked about possibly doing for our Thanksgiving episode was on Tubi.
You think Tubi would put a Grindhouse Syndicate horror podcast commercial since we give them all this free advertisement? You think they'd throw one of those and those anti-Biden and anti-Trump at the same time commercials they got going on?
Yeah, that's weird. They're like have these.
I love them.
They have these.
They were great.
They have these advertisements during the movies where it's like makes you think that it's for one candidate over the other, and then the other half of the ad is them just talking shit about the other candidates. They're talking shit about both of them,
They're like,
but they
don't vote
never,
for either of them.
but they never bring up like who is paying for this, like whose ad is this?
This is Tubi saying,
fuck the system.
We can find somebody better than this. Like, there's got to. We don't know who it is, but there's somebody out there better.
Who is
than
in
this.
charge of Tubi right now?
I don't know. Maybe they're
is it this
libertarian?
Turkey? It's this turkey.
It's the turkey. Gobble gobble, motherfuckers. Don't vote.
Just don't vote. So
there can't be a winner if there's no votes.
So you ready to start this movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, buckle up, because it gets weird right off the bat.
Yeah, well, yeah, weird. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it's a killer turkey movie.
It's killer titties. But
for those of you who have listened to our older episodes, you know that this was coming from a long time ago, because this was actually brought up in one of our first episodes.
Was it?
Yeah, I brought up Thankskilling about a killer turkey, and then I continued on with whatever we were talking about, and then you stopped me like 30 seconds later and was like, wait a minute, I just want to go back to this killer turkey thing. And I was like, well, I will not answer any of your questions, because we just should watch the movie.
Well, if anybody's
and here we are.
If anybody's wondering why we are doing this movie, besides it being hilarious, Google Thanksgiving horror movies and see what comes up.
Yeah,
bunch of not horror movies.
Plus, these kind of movies were like half of the reason I wanted to do the show. I wanted to do some movies that we really liked, and movies that were really good, that weren't always recognized. And then I also wanted to do movies that are awful, but are awful in a good way.
Yeah, but this is a little different, because some of those movies I really want to do. This one is done as the joke of it is they did it to be so awful. Whereas stuff like Ticks and Maximum Overdrive, movies like that are just like they thought that shit was gonna hit hard back in the day, and I don't know if it did, but now looking back at those movies, it's fun to laugh your ass off at some of the stuff they tried to. Well, they didn't try. They put in actual movies and made a lot of money in movie theaters.
There's a new one I want to see about a killer sloth that just came out. I will be watching that and talking a little bit about that when I get a chance.
Killer sloth.
Slaughterhouse. Yeah.
When are we gonna get the North Pole ice pick massacre?
I really like the idea you had earlier of the possession of Santa, or the
exorcism of Santa Claus.
Exorcism of Santa Claus.
If we had the money, we would make the exorcism of Santa Claus.
If all of you guys donate enough money, we will make the movie The Exorcist of Santa Claus.
We're gonna have to do a Patreon just so they can donate, so we can make this movie.
So we can make. That's like the Dave Chappelle stuff where he's like being Bush and he's talking about going into war, and he's like, "We got to get that oil. I mean, that freedom for Iraq." All right.
Not as funny when it's on purpose.
So we can never make the movie. Just keep your money.
Come on, Tubi, where you at?
We got ripping people off tracks. So we start off in the year 1621, right after the first ever Thanksgiving, and we see a topless pilgrim woman who is being chased through the woods by an evil demonic turkey. Is it? Do you know?
That line is something I never thought I would hear.
Do you know why she is running topless? Did you pick up on a
nice
reason?
Titties? I don't know.
I don't understand.
I
just don't understand why. Okay,
maybe in 1621 it was common to let those boobies fly.
How religious they were.
Well, maybe just her husband was around. It's okay then.
So I'll paint the picture if you haven't seen it. She has full pilgrim outfit on with just her her breast area missing. It's not like ripped away. It's like made to just show boobs.
It was pilgrim lingerie. That's what
That's
it
what
was.
they
That's
were
what the
gonna. Her and
pilgrims
her
wore.
husband were gonna have sex and have their 17th child,
Yeah,
and then the turkey came in and interrupt. That's a good theory.
that
That's the best
is.
theory I've heard.
That's it.
So anyway, she's running through the woods, and she ends up tripping and falling over a rock, going nipples down into the dirt. She gets her titties dirty.
Old nipples down. I hate when that fucking
her
happens,
her
man.
dirty pillows got dirt
That's
on them.
that's just like Rob Zombie, man. That got nipples down in the dirt.
Nipples
I
down in
hate
the
when
dirt.
that happens.
Uh, we then see the turkey is holding a tomahawk and telling her "nice tits, bitch" before killing her. At least he complimented her before he did it. And then we get a pretty cool title card and intro. I really like the title card and intro.
But the intro was pretty cool, like the red
It
with
was
the
a
blood.
little long though.
My first two notes of this movie is pilgrim boobs, nice tits, bitch.
My first note was just boobs. That's all I wrote. I said, I don't need to put a lot of info in this note because I'm going to remember exactly what this is.
I had to remind myself it was a pilgrim. That's pilgrim boobs.
It's funny because when I watched the movie for this, I watched it with your wife Brooke, and you were not there. And then, like, the first thing we see is boobs, and then we think we both just said like boobs or started laughing. Like it was immediate. So we then jump to 2007, and we meet 5 college students. We have the good girl Kristen, the jock Johnny, the ditzy hypersexual Allie, the redneck Billy, and the nerdy Darren. And we also get some more boobs, but this time it's some man boobs. We get a little man
Yeah.
boob.
And they may have almost been as big as whatever Lust. What's her name? Mandy Lust or something. Whoever
Mandy.
played the boobs in the beginning of the movie, yeah, they were about the same size.
Boobs McGee. Yeah, so he can basically come. He basically comes out of the like college building and just is so excited. He just like rips his shirt completely off for Thanksgiving break.
I got those man tits tracks.
All of these college kids are way too excited for Thanksgiving break.
None of these kids would hang out with each other.
Yeah, I
Like
mentioned
that's
in
you got
here.
like the jock backup quarterback, the nerdy kid, and the super redneck guy would not be close friends.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they would, but they are in this movie.
It's like they literally sat down and was like, let's think of the most cliche, like typical.
Well, yeah, that's what they did.
That's clearly what they did. Yeah.
So they are all about to head home for Thanksgiving for their Thanksgiving break, and we then see that we got another Jeep. We got another Jeep movie.
Of course, Johnny drives a Jeep.
2 Jeep movies in a row. And I would say that there are way too many people in that Jeep. I don't know if that Jeep
It's a Jeep.
Carry.
A Jeep could literally carry the entire state of Ohio. It's a fucking Jeep. And Johnny totally wouldn't wave at me because I drive a Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, it's not that kind of Jeep.
It's not.
This Jeep
cool
does not
Jeep.
do a tactical role in this movie, though.
It did off camera.
Did you notice, like, when the 3 are sitting in the back, like Billy, who is overweight, if you did not know, he is taking up 90% of the back seat, and then the other 2 are like sitting on like the wheel wells in the back, like scrunched in there. I'm just like, man, if I were one of those people and they're like, hey, you got to sit in the back and there's no room, I'd be like, I'll just find another ride. Anyway, so we then jump to a homeless guy and his dog, and he has pretty much, I guess, just been living in that shack in the woods. And this is where my first kind of shot of like the cinematography was really bad. there's like following this guy and his dog, and then the dog obviously turns around, which wasn't planned, and almost runs directly into the camera. It's great. I watched it like 3
They
times.
couldn't afford a trained dog.
No, they just used a regular dog, and the dog, very obviously, that the camera's falling in a direction, and the dog just says, "Yeah, fuck this, I'm going a different way," and immediately turns and almost runs right smack into the camera.
Yeah, how long they probably had to follow that dog to get him to take a piss.
Yeah, so the dog, he runs off to go pee, and we, again, for like the 3rd or 4th time, have someone that goes off like 17 miles away in the woods to go piss. It's a dog this time, but still counts.
Yeah, that's a common theme in horror movies. And once again, this is what, 4 times this has happened. It is a bad idea to go off that far away to take a piss in a horror movie. It's a new horror trope. I never even realized it.
Every one of them that goes off dies.
You can't go more than 5 foot away to take a piss in a horror movie, or you're gonna die.
Just piss your pants.
It's batting 100% right now.
So we see that the group is now all in the Jeep, and they're heading to their, I guess they're all from the same hometown. It doesn't really say. They all live in the same town or whatever.
That's why
so
they're
all headed
riding
there
together, I suppose.
And this is where we learn that Allie and Kristen both have a thing for Johnny. But Johnny is kind of down in the dumps because of his strained relationship with his father. So, when we were watching this, I remember we were like, we couldn't figure out which one he was dating. Because it doesn't make that clear that he's not dating either one of them currently. And you see Kristen sitting in the front seat, and they're kind of flirting. So we just assumed that was his girlfriend. But then you get this girl in the back seat who's like hitting on him. And I remember we were like, wait, is his girlfriend just like okay with Allie in the back, like putting her hand on him and talking about wanting to fuck him? Like, what is going on here? But yeah, he's not dating either one yet. Guess he's gonna pick one at some point. But anyway, so we also learned that Darren, he's ready to get buck wild. He's gonna ghost ride the whip.
He's gonna get laid.
He plans on
fuck somebody in that Jeep.
He's gonna get very drunk. He's gonna go skinny dipping without his clothes.
Whoa.
And he's gonna be having sex with someone in that Jeep. He's gonna be the one doing the sexing.
No.
To someone else.
That was he was hoping, I guess, Allie.
Well, the thing is he's almost like he doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's like, I'm fucking somebody.
Like, I'm putting my dick into something.
Worst case scenario, Jeep. I'm fucking this Jeep.
Yeah. Your gas cap tight.
Allie says that it won't be with her because she is a prude. But Kristen makes a joke about Allie's legs being harder to close than the JonBenet Ramsey case. Bro, when they dropped that shit, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, so I was typing a note when they first said that, and I thought they said tighter than JonBenet Ramsey. I didn't hear the case part, and I was like, whoa, that was dark.
I mean, this is still a dark joke.
Yeah, it's dark. But that's like getting your coffee black dark. Like, that's, I was like, whoa. Because this was, this JonBenet Ramsey, when this movie came out, was still, a lot of people nowadays, the younger generation probably don't know who that is, but this was a big thing then.
Big thing in our younger times. So at this point, we jump back over to the dog, and he finds a mini totem pole, I guess. It's like just a very small totem pole for some reason in the ground, and he decides to piss on it. And this causes the ground to shudder, and the evil turkey emerges from the dirt. And he gets pretty mad that the dog pisses on his head, and he proceeds to kill the dog with his beak.
The dog was actually R. Kelly in costume.
We then meet Kristen's dad, Sheriff Round, who has just been informed that his wife is leaving him, and oh, by the way, she shit in the morning coffee he drank. Yeah, he's
He's like,
suddenly,
God damn, this tastes like shit.
goddamn, Cheryl, this coffee tastes like shit. And she's like, well, of course it does, because I shit on it and I want a divorce.
She holds up the coffee and it's like got a turd in it.
Fucking two turds in the bottom of the coffee. Oh, and that has got to be the worst fucking fake mustache I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Like I said, there's things in this movie, like the acting and maybe even some of the camera shots and this fucking mustache that's so fucking bad. It's like
Why?
they had it. It's like they put it in here just to make fun of how bad the movie was going to be, which makes it not as bad.
Where did they get a fake mustache that looks that terrible? It looks like the
But they
bristles
had
to a brush.
They had to make it. They cut up some toothbrushes.
It's so bad. He's got like, so you can tell he's a sheriff because he's got this hat
Terrible
on and
mustache.
this shirt, and he's got this big, huge plastic fake star on his shirt, and then the same like dollar store sheriff star on his hat. It's stupid.
I didn't notice how bad the star was.
Oh, it's awful.
I couldn't look away from that mustache, trying to figure out what they used to make that fucking thing. They should have put a little bit of
shit on the mustache.
Give him a shitler.
Yeah, shitler.
I think he had some brown like stained down his face though in that next scene.
Yeah. Oh, my face hurts. And it's early in the plot. But yeah,
it gets worse.
So as this is happening, he gets a phone call from Kristen, who tells him that she will be home in a few hours. Soon after, the Jeep breaks down on the side of the road, and the group decides to let the car cool off overnight and just camp in the woods nearby. That'll fix it.
Yeah, it does. It fixes it. Yeah. That's one thing I was like,
maybe we should try that next time one of our cars.
Don't you know Jeeps fix themselves?
They must. They have Jeep magic.
I mean, you can tell this is a movie because what Jeep breaks down? Jeeps don't break down.
Yeah. The road around it breaks down.
Exactly.
So as they are setting up, Darren tells the folk tale of Feather Cloud, a Native American shaman who was dishonored by Pilgrim Chuck Langston, which is also one of Billy's ancestors. The outraged Feather Cloud used black magic to create the evil turkey, who is said to appear every 505 years.
Yeah, what a random fucking number.
To slaughter all Caucasians he encounters. So he created a racist turkey.
He did.
Turkey. Hold on, I'm gonna try to get this out without fucking this up.
These goddamn turkeyologists
all over the world know this story, and they call this day Thankskilling.
Man, I wish I would have went to school to be a turkeyologist.
Do you think they're really turkeyologists?
No, it's poultryologist.
I'm trying to just get myself under control. The hermit man Oscar discovers his dog dead, and he runs into Turkey.
Yeah, who knew we had Kid Rock in this movie? I told Brooke, I'm like, I said that same line, and she goes, "Oh my God, is that really?"
He looked at me like Ted Nugent.
It looked like
he was friends with Kid Rock, coincidentally.
If Kid Rock didn't get famous and got like a beer belly.
So he tries to shoot Turkey with a shotgun, but Turkey ends up escaping, and he then vows to hunt and kill the turkey. There's a scene that I don't know, maybe I was laughing or something, but I missed it. But the scene where he kneels down by the dog and he actually says, "First my wife, then the dog," or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the first and second time I seen this movie, I thought he said the dog was his wife. In this movie, that's believable though.
Yeah,
I thought he was like,
I didn't.
You killed my dog and my wife, and I was like, the dog's his wife. Well, he is by himself in the woods. He's lonely.
Yeah, real lonely.
If the dog is consenting, I don't see any problem with it.
What I caught on that, because I heard it was two different. two different. Obviously, not the dog was his wife. I guess prior to this, some Thanksgiving, this turkey killed his wife.
I don't
I thought
know.
that's what the third one was going to be about.
Well, that's not surprising considering that when he first walks up and he sees his dog dead, and then the turkey starts, talking shit to him, he immediately starts talking back to the turkey. He's not surprised the turkey's talking. He's not surprised this turkey's alive. He even tells the man like he killed the dog with an axe that is far bigger than the turkey. So how he held it, I don't know. But the guy is not surprised or doesn't question this at all. So
Yeah,
that
so
could be.
clearly he's killed his wife at some prior Thanksgiving, and we need a movie about that.
I
It
thought.
makes sense why he's like buried in these woods where this guy lives.
I thought he was saying like God had killed him. Like, damn you, God. You've killed my wife and my dog, you bastard.
That would make sense. I don't know why that didn't come up to me, but I don't know.
It could be either or. So oh fuck, I lost where I am. So Kristen heads off into the woods to get like cell phone signal so she can call her dad, like tell him that they broke down. And when she then she is confronted by Turkey. He then chases Kristen back to the camp where she tries to tell the others about her run-in with him. But they all like laugh off her story until a baby rabbit, which appears to have been pecked to death, is thrown into their campfire.
Bro, when I first seen like the first shot of this thing in the fire, looks like they threw a stuffed animal
I
in
can't
there.
even tell like that it's a rabbit.
Yeah, okay. And like the second and third shots, it's kind of bubbling, whatever they threw in there. But I'm pretty sure that first shot of it going in there, they just threw a rabbit stuffed animal in the fire.
For sure. Oh, for sure.
So that's what you call making the most out of your budget.
And I think they even say something like, "Oh, that happens all the time." I'm like, animals just fall into your campfire all the time. Okay. So yeah, the next day, Bill is awakened by the hermit Oscar, who informs him that the turkey came to kill them last night, but Oscar ran him off. And he doesn't really believe him at first until he discovers turkey droppings on his chest, which are really just little marshmallows painted brown. turkey just shit on his chest.
Turkey shit on him before he's gonna kill him.
Soon
That's
after,
disrespectful.
he's like, "Oh man," he like brushes him off. Soon after, the Jeep is magically fixed and the group gets back on the road. And why does Darren wipe his mouth so much? Like,
I don't know.
I thought it was something that I kind of noticed a couple times in the beginning, but by the time we get to this point, I'm like, this is his thing. Like, he's obviously going to do this all movie. I don't understand. I didn't know if I just missed something.
He's just like supposed to be the weird kid. Like he does weird shit. I don't think there's anything in the plot that alludes to why he wipes his mouth all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. But by this point, I said, well, this is just his thing. He's going to do this.
Maybe this is foreshadowing to what happens to him later on.
Maybe.
To his mouth.
He should have wiped his mouth more.
Yeah.
We then see Turkey flag down a vehicle. This is one of my favorite fucking parts. So the car stops and the guy opens the door and he tells Turkey, ass, gas, or grass. And Turkey replies that he is all out of gas, so he guesses he will do ass. This man is excited and claims that Turkey has a tight ass. He then starts to remove his penis from his pants when Turkey pulls a gun on him.
A whole shotgun, not just like a handgun. He pulls a fucking shotgun.
Well, this guy was gonna fuck a talking turkey. He was excited.
I don't know if he knew it was a turkey. Turkey
had to have.
Turkey is a master manipulator. He's a master of disguise.
He hasn't done a disguise yet, though.
He has. Maybe he did. Maybe he just stood a certain way, and the guy just couldn't tell him apart. Was this a prostitute or is this a turkey? I can't tell.
So Turkey puts the gun to his face and basically tells him to call his daughter. He calls his daughter, says he'll be home soon. He's very scared. and Turkey immediately shoots the man in the head and
I
hijacks his car.
I love how he makes him call his daughter just to shoot him on the phone with his daughter.
So, you know what I thought about with this scene is this scene is like the movie Monster, the Arlene Warnos
Oh
movie.
yeah, that movie. Yeah,
It's like this is totally the movie Monster.
yeah,
So now it is nighttime. And I just realized Turkey drove a car. He
yeah. I
just
thought you were
drove
gonna
away.
skip over that. Like he literally drives the car off.
I just didn't. There was so much stuff happens
I
before
know
that
that.
that it just a light bulbed in my brain that Turkey can drive. How
Yeah,
they
I know
they didn't
the
have cars in 1600s.
picking up turkey prostitutes is kind of distract you from the turkey driving part and the turkey holding shotguns and shooting people with it.
So now it is nighttime, and the students reach Allie's home to drop her off, where she attempts to fuck Johnny one more time, and then we hear Kristen make the John Bonet joke again, and it was like she makes the
Like it's
same
for
joke, and everyone acts like they haven't heard it before,
yeah.
and they're all like, "Oh man, that was so good," and I was like, "Wait a minute, is that the second time she's made that same joke?"
I only knew it was for sure the same one because I had to ask Brooke the first time because I was like, what the fuck did they just say?
I can't believe she sat there and watched it a second time.
Yeah, well,
I didn't think she
it's
was
only
gonna
an
like this
hour.
movie.
I don't think she did.
You don't
I
think
think
she
she
liked
thought
it?
it was parts of it was funny, but yeah, there was no ghost in it. I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you.
Well, the turkey's possessed by an evil spirit, kind of.
Maybe if I tell her that, she'll like it more.
The exorcism of the turkey.
The killer turkey.
Johnny then, one by one, drops everyone off at their homes, and then he heads to his parents' house alone. When Johnny arrives, we find out that he and his father haven't been on good terms for a whole 2 weeks. So earlier he has this whole like montage about his dad and them, playing football and stuff together, and then how sad he was that he makes it sound like him and his dad have not spoken in years, and then we find out it's only been 2 weeks, and
Well, let me ask you this because I thought I heard this in the beginning, but I didn't rewind it, and I've only seen this once. So I think when he's talking to Darren in the beginning, he's like, I'm the backup quarterback. He's like, I broke my leg last year. He's like, I am the starting quarterback, but I broke my leg last year. But then you find out that it's only been 2 weeks since he got benched or told his dad that he got benched. So did he make up that whole thing about breaking his leg so he didn't look
I
lame for
I
being the backup quarterback?
I think he did. I think he did, and because later on he also like ends up lying to his dad about. So he's willing to lie about this situation. I think he did. I think he's not good enough to be the starting quarterback, and apparently everybody fucking knows he's the backup quarterback for some reason. I don't think I could name a single backup quarterback off the top of my
Well,
head. I don't really know anything much about football, but I could name some famous starting quarterbacks, but not any backups. So everybody knows this, and I feel like he is ashamed of this, so he just makes up
oh,
bullshit.
football is his life, man. The amount of football
Football references.
references that he
He's
makes in
like
this
dying. He's
movie.
like, I wish I could just time out this,
He,
call it timeout or some shit.
I'm surprised he didn't lead this turkey to the starting quarterback and have the starting quarterback
He's not
killed. So
white.
he could be back up for
The,
even if it's just a minute.
his
He could be
starting
a
quarterback's
starter.
not a white guy, so Turkey won't kill him.
Yeah, that might be it.
We gave you guys casinos and land. Didn't that make up for it? He's like,
Almost.
almost.
I love too in this scene right here how the guy who plays the dad is the best actor of the
He is
movie.
so terrible.
I'm saying he's the best. He was
He's so
so
bad.
mad. Like when he goes out and smokes, like before he talks, he didn't really have much talking scene. But when he goes out and smokes after his son gets there, and you could tell he's just trying to avoid talking to him. I thought it was so like This guy must hate his son in real life because he played the disappointed dad so good.
He does. He plays disappointed good, but he plays like being happy for his son bad
Yeah, that was rough.
because when he turns around and he's like, "You're the best son ever," I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah, that was bad. I just meant like this guy clearly hates his son in real life because it's really disappointed. Like his son's like a furry or something. He's just disappointed.
So he find his father has been extremely disappointed and embarrassed that Johnny is only the second string quarterback for his team. Because we find out during their conversation that I guess Johnny's dad was the starting quarterback when
Yeah.
he was in college, and now his son sucks, and
He doesn't
he's
have a son.
he
What do you
doesn't have a
mean?
son anymore. Not for the past 2 weeks. So Johnny tries to reconnect with his father by lying to him and telling him that he is now the first string. And during this conversation, Turkey comes up from behind and attacks his dad. And he cuts off his head and ends up tossing it to Johnny, who bobbles the head around.
You know, his dad, the head getting cut off part actually looked pretty good. And then they had this terrible CGI of like the head
The
flying
blood
through the air
with
with
the
the blood
blood.
squirting out of it.
He runs inside in fear and discovers that his mom is already dead. Johnny escapes the home and he goes to gather the rest of the group and tell them about Turkey. We then head over to Allie's house. We are now heading into my favorite part of this movie.
Oh man, this part made me so uncomfortable. I can't believe that they put this in the actual fucking movie.
This is for me one of the things that there's like 2 or 3 things that makes this movie gold, and this is one of them. So we head over to Allie's house, and she has called over a random male friend for sex. They go into her room and they begin to fuck with their clothes on. You notice they have all their clothes on still.
They didn't have the money in the budget to get another girl to be naked in the movie, so they just had to
They at
leave the
least
clothes
could
on.
put the guy in his boxers. He's fucking her in jeans.
Yeah,
Like
pretty uncomfortable.
So Allie is bent over on the bed, and the guy is standing behind her, hitting it from the back, as the kids would say. And
Got those doggy style tracks.
yeah, I've realized too that she's wearing the same clothes that she was wearing the day before, and camped in the woods in, and now she's fucking in them.
It's the only clothes she owns,
I guess. Yeah. Anyway, Turkey sneaks into the room, and without Allie noticing, slices the guy's throat. The guy's body falls to the floor, and Turkey begins fucking her. Once again, I will say it for the people in the back. Allie does not know this is Turkey inside her vagina. Turkey fucks her.
Yeah, he fucks her.
and he orgasms very hard, and he yells, "You just got stuffed."
And then breaks her neck. You just got stuffed, snap.
Allie looks back in fear, and Turkey breaks her neck.
I love how like he cuts the guy's throat and like blood flies on her back, and she's like, "God damn it, you come fast!" And then he seamlessly switches the guy out for him.
Oh my god!
And she just like gets into it again.
If you were on the fence about watching this movie, you must watch this movie for this scene alone. It is amazing. So
Amazingly uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable. Turkey rape is gross.
I will say the line "you just got stuffed."
You just got stuffed.
That was good. That was perfect.
The group. Let's just put 2 and 2 together, like when you stuff a turkey.
Oh, you didn't catch that?
No,
Oh,
I don't know
man.
why. I think I was so in shock from turkey rape.
Well, it wasn't rape. It was consensual.
No, it wasn't. She wouldn't have let Turkey fuck her.
I don't know. Have you seen her throughout this movie? She may have let Turkey fuck her.
I mean, yeah, but you got to get an okay for. You can't just assume. So the group, we're debating Turkey rape.
Yeah.
The group drive over to Warren Alley, but instead find her dead body in an extra small gravy flavored condom.
Oh man. I hate when they're out of gravy flavored condoms at the
Those
store.
are my favorite.
They know too. They know it's turkey.
They know.
They're like an extra small gravy flavored condom. God damn it.
God damn turkey. I think one of them's like, I'm sick of this damn turkey. Oh. He had to give us a moment to collect ourselves.
At least he slipped a condom on.
Well,
he does that seamless. He must have put a condom on before he went in there.
Oh, for sure.
Like he must have had it ready.
Well, he left the wrapper like somewhere in like the hallway or something.
I know, and he didn't have. Yeah, well, I don't know where they found the wrapper, but I know he seamlessly was
found
able
the wrapper inside of Allie.
But Darren, why were you checking inside of Allie?
Like some people can like tie a cherry stem with their tongue. Turkey can unwrap a condom and put it on with his dick without touching it. Oh,
that's
shit.
Gross.
So the group drive over to oh wait, I already said that. So they find they find this gravy condom. Does the condom have gravy in it? Did he come gravy too?
Well, I think they said a gravy flavored.
No, it
condom.
is, but like, does it also have gravy cum in it?
Are you asking if turkeys come gravy?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure turkeyologists would tell you no.
If you're a turkeyologist, write into the show and let us know.
Yes, do turkeys nut gravy? Very, very serious question.
They then decide to go to Kristen's house to see if her father has any books about turkey in his library. They were talking about going to a regular library. I think like the Billy, the redneck guy. And Johnny, who is also kind of a dumbass, is like, "Are you stupid? The library's closed this late."
This Kristen's like, my dad has a awesome collection of books. I'm sure he's got one on killer turkeys.
Yeah.
And it so reminded me of the Fast Times at Ridgemount High. Like, my dad's got a killer set of tools.
He's a TV repairman. He can fix it. So Turkey beats them there, though, and he tricks Sheriff Round into letting him in by wearing a disguise, which is really just a fake nose and glasses. So Turkey ends up murdering the sheriff, though, after he mistakes him for a duck.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, he thought he was a little person at first.
Yes, he did. So yeah, they're like sitting at the table talking at first, and it's weird because Sheriff Round is dressed as a turkey, and Turkey is dressed as a person.
Yes.
Let that sink in for a moment.
Yes, I'm sure it's very confusing for those out there listening who have not seen this movie.
When I was watching it, I was confused. Who's the person and who's the turkey?
It's
confusing.
Seamless. They almost look the exact same.
Kristen in her this is my second favorite part of the movie.
This is if you're getting where I think you're about to get, this is my favorite part of the entire movie.
This was
when they get to her house.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you so bad about this because I was like, this is House of a Thousand Corpses.
This is the absolute best part of this movie.
I love this. So Kristen and her friends finally arrive, and they are allowed in by Turkey, who is wearing Sheriff Round's severed face as a disguise.
And his hat.
She's like,
he's got the sheriff
Dad,
hat
did
on.
you do something different? He takes the sheriff hat off, and she's like, oh, you got a haircut. His fucking face is stitched together, and it's so small. It's like a small face.
On its little beak. It's like beaks like pushing the face out. Bro, whoever did that tiny little face of of the actor that played Sheriff did really good, though.
Okay, the best part about this face is they took the mustache from the real guy and put it on, so it's this huge fucking mustache on this tiny face. They only had the budget for one fake mustache. They didn't even cut it down. Holy fuck.
Bro, the fucking hat's what got me. He's got the fucking sheriff's hat. He's wearing the sheriff hat. Like the hat shrank down to the size of a turkey being able to put it
Oh
on.
my god, I'm like sweating. Oh. I've laughed so much it's hot in here. I don't know if I can make it through the rest of this fucking
Goddamn
movie.
Thanksgiving Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh.
Is Turkey Leatherface?
If he would have had a tiny chainsaw.
Surprised they didn't give him one in this movie.
Or if they'd have gave him the little chest, like he'd have made a little chest, he'd just been like Otis from House of a Thousand Corpses. What if Rob Zombie did a fucking remake of this movie?
I would watch it.
Somebody get a petition where Rob Zombie remakes Thankskilling. Oh man, Universal.
We gotta get him on
kick him off the lot.
We gotta get him on the show, man. Again. Again. Gotta get him to remake it.
Where am I?
I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to top that scene now. When they open up the door and he's got the sheriff's fucking face and hat on.
And she's like,
Dad.
Okay, hold on. This
I knew it was coming
this
too.
Scene's got so much stuff. So she's like, we came here to use your books or library or something in the garage. And she's like, could you take us there? And he's like, yeah, sure. Where's that again though? She's like,
I didn't even catch that.
And your failing memory.
I didn't even catch that. I was so perplexed by the fucking the tiny little sheriff hat.
So here's the best part. So there's like this cut of the camera like moves and it shows them all kind of like he's holding the door for them and they're all walking through. And Darren, who's last, I think it's either Darren or Billy, one of the two that's last. And he comes by and he goes, "Excuse me, sir."
I love they do a shot from Turkey's perspective, and they're all like looking down on him. Like they're literally staring down on them.
Yeah, that's the shot I'm talking about. They're all walking past him.
Yeah.
And if you notice, the very last guy is like, "Excuse me, sir."
Hey, he's a sheriff. You gotta be respectful.
We're gonna back up like 2 seconds. So there's also like when she first opens the door and she's like, "Oh, Daddy," and she's like, "These are my friends, and this is Johnny," and he's like, "Happy Thanksgiving, sir." And they literally she goes one by one, and they're all like, "Hello, sir." He's got them all fooled. With this, his face is stitched together. Like, better part.
He's the height of a turkey.
So they show from behind him, and he's got the mask. He's wearing the mask with just like a piece of yarn holding it on. We're never gonna get off this part.
This was the best part of the movie. I knew when that door opened that this was the best part of the movie. No matter what happened after this.
I wish I could have the little turkey head with that little fake face on. I would put that on my fucking shelf. I would display that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, a good replica of this done good.
Wow,
I'm sure you could find a replica turkey.
They actually made this turkey originally from one of those hunting decoys.
No. He looks like a fucking like if they made Jurassic Park in the 70s, like a puppet, like of a velociraptor.
Yeah, I wrote in here. We haven't even made it to where I actually wrote, but Kristen doesn't notice this isn't her father, and I'm dying in laughter.
I don't even know what I fucking put in my notes. I don't even if I even remembered to take a note. Turkey cuts Kristen's dad's face off and waves it to trick her into thinking he is her dad. It works.
It works. I mean, did you ever doubt it was going to work with that fucking disguise?
I knew as soon as the door opened. I thought it was her dad.
Darren finally finds a book. They all go in the garage and looking through some books, and Darren finally finds a book about turkey at Kristen's home. And if you actually look close to the scene, you can see that the book is made from a cut up cardboard box with a printed piece of paper on the cover.
Didn't notice that.
Oh my God. Go back and look. They zoom in and Darren's like talking about it's in code. Well, it's just like they cut two pieces of cardboard from a box and literally like put it like a book and just printed a piece of paper as the cover and like glued it to the cardboard.
I mean, killer turkey books. Have you never seen them? That's what they all look like.
They're just made from junk.
Why is the fucking end of the book in code? That's so, why would they do that? That's so
a mathematical code of that. And this book mentions that he could be killed if his magic talisman is removed, which he keeps hidden in it. What did they call it? Do you remember what they called it?
That's it's like the technical term for a turkey's feathers.
I wish
guess.
I actually
It's like fluff or something.
It's something with a P. I can't think of it what it's called, but
It's
yeah,
fluff.
So yeah, he keeps it hidden in his fucking feathers. But the rest of the passage about how to destroy him is written in code. Billy stumbles onto Turkey, disposing the sheriff's body, who's missing his face.
Bro, this part is when I don't know if you noticed it because it's really quick, but when they do the slow motion of him taking the mask off, the reveal,
yeah.
like they literally slow it down where he takes the mask off and does like the dramatic face reveal, and it was fucking gold.
They're like, "Oh, you're Turkey," and he's like, "Yeah, you kids are retarded." It's like, yes, yes, that is exactly what we were all thinking as they were greeting him at the door. I'm so glad they put that in there. Yeah, so he's like dragging the sheriff's body into the kitchen, and he sees him, and he's like, "What? Well, hey, sheriff, what are you doing there?" And he's like, nothing, just tidying up a bit." And he's like, "Well, what is that?" It's very obviously a body. Oh man.
It's not to mention this fucking turkey is dragging a grown man throughout the house.
Yeah, so they pretty much discover it's Turkey, and he reveals himself. And is this where he says
the land at the casinos?
Oh yeah, this is where he says the casino. So I was thinking,
like, we gave you land in casinos.
No,
Wasn't
no.
this enough?
The one I'm thinking of is actually later on. We haven't got there yet. But
I love when it's like almost, but not quite.
And then he's like, prepare to die. Yeah, so Billy calls the others in there, and they all run in there, and they're all kind of confronting the turkey, and Billy jumps on the turkey and kind of wrestles him, and they manage to snatch the talisman away from Turkey, but Turkey kind of escapes. Billy storms off outside while Darren cracks the code in the book, discovering that Turkey must be burned at the stake after a demonic prayer is said backwards. Outside, Billy's kind of walking down the street,
looking for food,
looking
for fucking food,
looking for food, and Turkey magically enters Billy's body.
He doesn't enter his body. He turns into a very bad CGI drawn, like a cartoon drawn turkey, and Billy eats it.
And that's how he gets in his body.
I know he gets in his body, but I'm saying like it's a little more than that. It's so bad. Like it is.
I don't know.
They didn't even try to make this fake turkey look.
It has like sparklers in it,
and he eats this drawn cartoon turkey in one bite.
And he's very satisfied with that too.
Yeah, he's full. He's got a whole turkey in him.
But
And,
Turkey shoots him from inside his body. He somehow snuck a whole shotgun into this
yeah,
guy.
where is the rest of the shotgun? Like slowly through this hole in his stomach comes the barrel of the shotgun. It's like, where is the rest of the shotgun?
And then he's like, Turkey comes out of his fucking guts. And I don't remember what he says, but he says some kind of tagline. That's great. I think he says gobble gobble,
Yeah, this
motherfucker.
is the gobble
Yeah,
gobble
yeah.
motherfucker. Yeah.
So the group finds Billy on the side of the road and he ends up dying in Darren's arms.
Did you catch when Darren's like freaking out and he's crying, talking about how good of friends they are, and he's like, "You can't die," and he looks down and he's like, "It's not even that
He
bad."
says that like 7 times. It's not even that, and the camera is
this
getting
is
way too
this
close
was the
to
scene
the guts.
I mentioned earlier. Is the camera angle fucking drove me nuts in this scene because it's so close. You like, I don't know if they weren't able to build it on him, so like it just didn't look right from far away, but they literally film like half of this looking at the bottom of the wound like 2 foot away.
Well, it's
It's like
like
zoomed
they
in.
got it on top of his stomach, and you can tell because he looks way fatter than he normally does. And I feel like if they showed it from too far away,
That's what I'm
it would just look like
but it
he
was
was.
just so close, man. It was like I wanted to see the wound and I couldn't see it all because it was zoomed in so close.
This was the most special effects that they put in here, though. This is like I think what they tried the hardest on was this gigantic
I will say
stomach wound that was going on.
this turkey shooting through him from the inside and then sticking his head out was done pretty well.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
done
good.
pretty
It
good.
was good. And I will
I was stoked
mention
on it.
something a little bit later on about the special effects that'll really make that a little more impressive.
Turkey literally tricked him into getting inside of him and then blew him open with the shotgun and then crawled out of his body. That is a hard thing to do with special effects. And it was good.
Darren, Kristen, and Johnny track Turkey to his very half-ass built teepee that he has set up in a park. And Turkey is in his teepee fixing a delicious salad.
Why a salad? I thought that was so fucking random.
I
He's
don't
like,
know.
"Oh, what a good day to eat a juicy salad."
Yeah, weird. So they get out of the Jeep and they decide to confront him, and they burst in and confront him to say the prayer and remove his ability to be immortal. And this is where they have this really funny line where Darren's like, I got something that you don't. And he's like, yeah, what, Darren? A vagina? I was like, damn.
But what about when they pull up to this teepee? Like they pull up in this loud ass Jeep, like right to the side, like a foot away from the teepee, and then they get out and they're all ducked down whispering.
Are they
And
even whispering, though? I feel
yeah,
like he could
well,
hear
they're
them.
like trying to talk really low, and I'm like, he didn't hear the entire fucking Jeep that pulled up next to his like teepee made out of a blanket.
Yeah, they should have had it where, like, they come in and he's like, I could hear you. Kids are retarded.
And then they're like, we need a rope, and Johnny pulls a rope out of his fucking pocket.
He's like, we need a lighter. And he's like, oh, I got that too.
Who keeps rope in their pocket? A man who drives a Jeep.
second
That's
string
who.
quarterback.
That was
He's
string.
gonna tow his Jeep out with that string he had in his.
It's like my winch broke, so this is what I use.
Oh, it's not even like a rope; it's a string.
String it is.
And they're
yeah.
like, we're gonna string Turkey up with the string.
And then he walks in and he's like, yo, you're not that scary after all. And he looks at Johnny and he's like, yeah, your parents thought
Your
that too.
dad didn't think that. He's like, I'm gonna kill you.
Dude, Turkey's lines in this, this is
gold.
what makes the movie so funny. If you take Turkey out of this and replace it with like a turkey that didn't talk, this movie's nowhere near as good.
But as they prepare to they say the prayer or whatever, and it like fucks him up. And as they prepare to burn him, he runs outside and is suddenly shot by Oscar, the homeless man, and his body then goes flying and it lands into a big trash can. Turkey is basically bleeding to death.
Kid Rock has blown Turkey into a trash can.
Oscar, he leaves, and the group believes that Turkey is dead. They kind of talk about how they didn't really kill him exactly how the book said to kill him, but he looks pretty dead, so they're pretty satisfied. And they decide to go celebrate by going to Kristen's house to watch movies. Even though their parents have been murdered, Kristen's dad's body is in the kitchen of Kristen's house, and they're okay with this. So they head back there and pretend like there's not a dead body with a missing face laying 20 feet from them, where Johnny and Kristen finally, after the whole entire movie trying to make out and fall in love and all that stuff, they finally decide to date. And then they have a makeout session that makes Darren feel really uncomfortable.
Bro, you can't skip over there. One of the best parts is he's like, man, this has been a really learning experience. You know, I may have lost my parents, but I gained a girlfriend.
I forgot about
And she's
this.
like, did you say girlfriend? He's like, yeah, will you be my girlfriend?
I forgot too, there's that part where they're all looking at Turkey's dead body and they're talking to Oscar. And I think he like brings up his dog dying and his wife or whatever, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's really hard to deal with." And he's like, "Well, maybe one day you guys will have an experience like that, like maybe losing like your parents or something."
He's like, hopefully y'all don't ever have to experience the pain of losing somebody close to you, like my dog. You know, like if your parents or your best friend die,
everything that
they're
just
all
happened
just
to them.
like super like awkward.
Yeah. Darren, he says, "I'm getting out of here. Fuck this," because they're like making out. And they're like falling on the floor.
Yeah,
like I thought they were gonna fuck.
And what they do, there's like zippers. You hear the zipper come down.
I didn't
so
hear that.
Yeah,
so they were fucking.
Yeah, so they start to have sex, and he's just like, I'm gonna go piss.
Well, it must have been pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, he's a second string quarterback. What do you expect?
So yeah, he leaves the room, and while in the kitchen, he gets stabbed in the ass by like a meat thermometer.
Bro,
he's like, "Hey, what is that?"
Did you catch when he was in the bathroom? He's wetting his hands and fixing his hair, and he has like no hair.
Yeah,
I'm like, what fucking hair is he fixing? And wiping his fucking face down. This dude's like, I don't know what's up with him and this wiping his fucking face off.
Do you remember earlier in the movie where they're driving in the Jeep and they're playing like some hard rock music? Like almost like some metal music.
In the beginning.
Yeah. So the reason that's actually in the movie is because this guy is a drummer in like a metal band, and that's his band. Yeah.
No, I remember it not sounding bad.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
I thought everything other than that, as far as music goes in this movie, sounds like the free stuff you get in like the samples and like in your garage band. Like it's all just free samples.
Well, when they sit down to watch the movie in the end, they're watching Night of the Living Dead, which a lot of people are aware of this, but Night of the Living Dead was not properly like copywritten, and now Night of the Living Dead is pretty much anybody can use it. So you could put it in this movie it's like public domain now because they just didn't do it correctly. And that is why you also see so many Night of the Living Dead rip-off movies because, there's really no copyright on it anymore.
Well, I know what we'll be throwing in the Exorcism of Santa Claus.
Night of the Living Dead, for sure.
Yes, it'll be in there.
So he gets stabbed in the ass by the meat thermometer, and Turkey is now glowing green from being brought back to life by toxic waste that was in the trash can. Now we got a zombie Turkey. Turkey attacks Darren, almost pecking him to death before ripping out his tongue and then ripping out his heart while it was still beating.
Bro, when he pecks, he doesn't rip his heart out. He pecks his fucking, like, I don't know how they did, they sped it up where he's like, just starts going off,
pecking?
like speed pecking. It's like a woodpecker. He literally pecks his heart out and rips it out while it's still beating. And
And
it was done really well.
And we want to bring up the tongue thing because the movie that we covered last week, Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, there's a tongue ripping out scene in that. And one of our big complaints was they did a CGI with the tongue. And we talked about why would you use CGI when you could have made that prop for really cheap. And this movie definitely did not have in the budget to do a lot of special effects. And they did a pretty good tongue ripping out.
They in that movie, they could have used just for that tongue ripping out scene the money that they used to make this whole movie. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how big that budget was, and they were able to, and they do this really good. Like the heart looks good. Him getting his heart pecked out looked good. The tongue ripping scene was great. Other than that, like radioactive green that they added in there with
Yeah,
it, but I thought it was fucking awesome looking.
But yeah, this was just proof. You get a movie has a budget of like $3,500, managed to do more special effects than a movie that had a $15 million budget.
Yep. Yeah, that's if a movie with a $15 million budget tells you they use CGI to save money, they're talking out of their ass. They clearly just thought it was easier to do CGI.
So Johnny goes to find Darren in the kitchen, where Turkey then stabs Johnny with an electric turkey carving knife.
I put electric turkey slicer because I couldn't think of the name of it, but I think you got it. That is an electric turkey carver.
Yep.
Or
Kristen
meat carver.
Yeah, I guess you could carve other meats,
Yeah,
not just turkey.
Yeah,
I mostly have seen it for
it's
turkey.
poultry.
Yeah,
They cut chicken with it too.
faux show.
Let's not be poultryist against other poultry just because we like turkey so much.
Kristen slaps Turkey and runs to a shed with a very badly wounded and bleeding Johnny. Turkey chases her into the shed, but Kristen sets Turkey on fire with a spray paint and lighter flamethrower. While he burns to death, Johnny dies from the turfy the turfy carving knife.
Right before they get the final kiss, too, he just dies.
He just. Kristen grabs a pipe and knocks him into a pile of already perfectly stacked wood, where he then burns to death like a witch.
Yeah, what did they call this? Like a pyre?
I don't actually know.
Like a stack of wood you would like cremate somebody on. Like these stupid who the or burn a witch at the stake. Who the fuck keeps this stacked up in their yard?
Sheriff Round, because he had a book on turkeys. He knew this was a possibility that this could happen.
Always stay prepared. You may have a killer turkey that you have to burn at the stake.
Yeah, so Oscar comes along, which does not explain why the fuck he showed up here. He's like, I was just out wandering around. Now that my dog and my wife is dead, I don't really have anywhere to be. Oscar comes along and congratulates her as she eats one of Turkey's now cooked legs.
Yes, because a zombie radioactive
That's
cooked chicken is the best chicken to have on Thanksgiving.
The fire, purified the meat.
I don't think you can cook radioactivity out of something.
Well, have you ever tried
it's
it?
Nuclear. Well, no, I have not.
Well,
but
until you tried it, you don't know.
I can tell you that, like Chernobyl, I'm sure they couldn't just set it on fire and then it's like good to live there.
Well, if you pray enough, God will make it happen.
Prayer is the answer.
If you have enough thoughts and prayers, you can solve anything, including radioactive food.
Yep.
So later at a family's Thanksgiving dinner, the cooked turkey comes to life, and in Turkey's voice yells, "Do I smell a sequel, biatch?" We then get a black screen that says, "To be continued," in space. And that is the end of this fantastic fucking movie.
Whose family dinner was that?
I don't know, but I do know that the guy who is sitting at the head of the table reading the prayer, that is actually Jordan Downey's father, in real life. And one of the props that Jordan Downey has kept from this movie, there's not a ton of props left. But he actually kept the small piece of paper that has this prayer on it. And he says that basically what they did was, because his dad was like not interested in memorizing all of this, they actually put the piece of paper in his lap. So when he's looking down, looking like he's praying, he's actually reading this piece of paper.
Way to take your son's movie seriously.
The actual picture of Turkey on the cover or the movie poster is not a picture that was actually taken for this movie. He was building the turkey puppet in the garage, and his mom kind of came out and snapped a picture of him with the turkey on his arm.
That's so professional.
And that ended up being the best picture they had of the turkey.
He did. That's the guy directed, right? He played Turkey.
Yeah, he's Turkey's voice.
I caught that. He's Turkey. He's the best character in this movie, hands down.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so there is a sequel, but it is not called Thankskilling 2. It gets kind of confusing, but it gets pretty meta here. So there is a Thankskilling 3, and in Thankskilling 3, they actually made in the movie universe, they made a Thankskilling 2, and Turkey has now returned to kill everybody that made Thankskilling 2.
They're going New Nightmare.
Yeah, it's very New Nightmare, kind of very Scream 3. Essentially, Thankskilling 2 is basically Thankskilling's version of Stab from Scream.
I just love that they skipped an actual 2 and went straight to 3.
We have not seen 3, 2, 3, whatever you want to call it.
I've seen the beginning of it.
I had seen this before, but I have not actually seen this, and I'm pretty excited to see it. But you did watch the first few minutes, and you did say that it does start in space.
It does, and if you thought the pilgrim outfit with the titties cut out was confusing, you'll be even more confused at the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll make it a whole year before we cover that movie.
I mean, we don't have much for Thanksgiving to cover. Like, as of right now, Turkey is the #1 Thanksgiving slasher in all of horror. And I don't know if Eli Roth will be able to change that.
Yep. That's actually fixing to come out, though. I definitely want to see that.
Hey, do you think he's going to be better than Turkey?
I don't know. I mean, the character, no. Whatever killer in Eli Roth's movie is not going to be more entertaining than Turkey. No,
Turkey's like Chucky.
So. He is.
He's like Chucky. He's got that sense of humor.
But he's a turkey.
Or like
a murderer.
He's so
he puts
cool.
his hand on a turkey and he's like, a day do we dembella.
What about whenever they're reading that decoded spell in the teepee, and he's like just talking shit to him, making fun of him the whole time. He's like, you guys are so fucking stupid.
Some voodoo guy tells him, he's like, if you don't jump into a human body, you'll be stuck as a turkey forever. Oh shit, there's so much you could do with that character. Oh man, I'm like going through my head. I just thought of like Turkey running around with Jason in the camp. He's got a little Jason mask on. All right, so we'll jump into a couple cool things I learned about this movie. So because no companies wanted to distribute the filmmaker no shit.
Ooh, I didn't see that coming.
That's such a surprise. They had to do that lame VOD.
I mean, it was better than House of a Thousand Corpses, according to
and Halloween. I think Halloween
a bunch of ratings
got like a 26 or something.
Yeah. So I'm surprised I'm actually surprised Lionsgate didn't pick this up.
We're probably like, damn it, we almost had it. The filmmaker, I could see Blumhouse doing this movie now. It'll be a trilogy. David Gordon Green directs Thanksgiving remake.
They'll fuck it up too. Like Turkey will get his ass beat or something.
He won't even be in the third one hardly. There's just some fucking kid who's like got
turning into a turkey.
He's got turkey's powers.
Keeps turning into a killer turkey slowly.
He's just randomly
starts
gobbling.
like pecking people to death, pecking their heart out
with this regular like his human nose.
just ramming his nose,
just ramming his face into people's body. So the filmmakers, they ended up having to sell the DVDs on Amazon, and back it was just Amazon.com themselves. It took a year to sell 1,000 DVD copies. The tagline, "Gobble Gobble Motherfucker," was thought of before the movie's actual plot. That line probably
they wrote this movie because of that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, they thought that was such a cool thing that they wrote a whole fucking movie around one sentence.
And it was good.
You hear that, writers? When you go to write the next movie, just come up with a cool line and write the movie around that.
It's like when musicians, like, you know, you come up with a really cool part and you're like, that's so cool, I got to write a whole song around it.
Yeah, man, that's how you do it, I guess. This is not a surprise. This next one, you're not going to be shocked at all. There were no deleted scenes in Thankskilling. They used every fucking thing they had.
This is 100% the director's cut.
This is everything. It gave you what, and it was still only an hour and 7 minutes.
When are we gonna get a bride of turkey?
It's like
get Jennifer Tilly to play the female
She's
turkey.
She's like smoking a cigarette. Her turkey beak's painted black. The special effects budget was only a few $100s. That's why I said you'd be really surprised later on when you kind of add up all the special effects in this. They only had a few $100 for all this stuff. So I thought that was really interesting. You hear that, makers of No One Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, you had 15 million. They had a couple hundred.
There must be some corruption in Poland. Somebody pocketed a shit ton of that fucking money, because like we were saying, for that movie, there's not a whole lot of set. There's not a lot of actual effects.
Everything's in the woods.
Yeah, they're like, how much could they have paid to film in woods?
Speaking of woods, this next one is one of my favorites. The camping scenes were impromptu, done outside of an abandoned Wendy's in New Jersey.
That fits this movie so good.
They were driving by. Where can we film these scenes where these teens camp? And somebody was like, well, there's a little bit of woods next to that abandoned Wendy's. What?
It's probably down the street from the houses that they filmed at.
You could go to a fucking park.
No, because you gotta have permits to film in a park, and they didn't have the money for a permit.
Oh, you just wait. So the opening scene with Wanda Lust topless was shot without a permit in a public park.
In true porn star fashion.
They had some fucking porn star with her titties out running around a public park in the middle of the day.
In a pilgrim outfit with the tits cut out.
With a puppet turkey chasing her with a fucking tomahawk.
Some kids fucked up for life. Like some kid flashbacks when he sees titties or turkeys. Titties or turkeys.
Some Karens were covering their kids' eyes. What the fuck is this? Somebody went home and was like, "You ain't gonna believe what I've seen at the park today."
Yeah, nobody believed him. So she took him to rehab after that. How much acid have you done?
The fact that we were talking about the Wendy's and you were like, well, they need a permit for that. I was like, oh, this is going to go in here perfect.
They probably, I mean, get a porn star. I guess they'll do it.
Speaking of that,
They're like, we shoot without permits all the time.
so you may ask yourself, how did you get a famous porn star to be in such a low budget movie made by people who have never made a movie before? Well, I have the answer for that. Wanda Lust was cast off of Craigslist.
She, I assume, is in some pretty high quality pornos.
Yeah, so she's
in those Craigslist pornos.
She replied to a Craigslist ad and was like, "I'll do it." She's like, "I don't even have to take a dick today."
This is the easiest fucking $200 I've ever fucking made. I just got to run around a public park with my tits out
and just possibly
chased.
Get arrested. Public exposure.
It's like, well, I've already been arrested like 14 times.
You
for
mean
that.
the cop?
You know, Craigslist low budget porn movies don't get fucking.
You know the cops,
permits.
if they had showed up and they would have been like, "What's going on here?" Like, well, we're filming a movie about a killer turkey. Cops would have been like,
killing
what?
a half naked pilgrim.
Oh man. And here's the last one. Unfortunately, only the original hero head of the turkey puppet remains. All the others were destroyed in the making of the film, and unfortunately, the original cast that they used to make the turkey has also been destroyed. So it's a sad time.
They probably thought nobody would ever watch this movie.
They did, yeah. If you actually look
if it took them a year, I'm surprised, honestly, that they were able to sell 1,000 of them on Amazon in a year.
Yeah, I mean,
I would buy it, but you know, if you hadn't seen this movie, you probably wouldn't think a killer turkey. Thanksgiving. I'll call it Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
I don't know why that popped in my head, but
pretty good title.
That's next. That's after the exorcism of Santa Claus. We're gonna make Thanksgiving. So, Tubi, man. Come on, call us.
Or I should just email Tubi and be like, dude, we talk about you every episode. Could you throw us $20?
we need to have the audience write them. It'll sound better coming from somebody else.
Right, Tubi, or we'll just make a bunch of fake accounts.
You know who will? Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen will do it
to catch a creditor. He goes after people going after you who you owe money to. If you got creditors going after you, call my man Chris Hansen to catch a creditor, and he will have your back. Oh God! Good. If you've made it to the end of this, congratulations. Oh shit. Kill count and ratings. All right, so the kill count of this movie is a total of 10. We have the topless pilgrim lady. We have who is labeled officially as would-be turkey fucker is number 2. Johnny's dad, Johnny's mom, Allie's hookup friend, then Allie, Sheriff Round, Billy, Darren, and then Johnny.
That's interesting that I didn't realize that many people died. I don't even think there's 10 people in the official cast.
Well,
so
I mean,
some people didn't get credit.
They damn near killed everybody in the movie except for
there's only 12 people in the official cast.
Well, there's and there's only 2 survivors at the end.
There's 2 Darrens. I'm not sure why. That's what I was going to ask you about. Yeah, that's why I asked you like whose house they were at.
What do you mean there's 2 Darrens?
There's the Darren we have in the movie, and then there's another Darren. I don't know if he's like I don't know if they named the turkey fucker the guy who picked up.
Okay, no, but look, so they accidentally added him twice because the first Darren is Ryan E. Francis, and the second Darren is just Ryan Francis.
Oh. I don't know why E threw me off, man. Well, he doesn't look the same at all. They took a picture of him that's like 15 years older, or like from now, and then a picture of him from the movie, and I was like, this just looks like a Like, did they have a flash forward? Like, did he live or something?
That's
And
his twin
I'm like, his
brother.
fucking heart got ripped out.
That's his twin brother. The only difference in their name is the E.
That's the big difference.
Favorite kill. All right, here we go. Favorite kill. I think I went first last time, so you want to go ahead and.
Well, I'm gonna say Darren.
Okay.
I thought the tongue being ripped out was done really good, but my favorite part is the fucking pecking. Like the him getting his heart pecked out and then it being thrown across the room, still pumping. It's my favorite kill.
That kill definitely looked the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely, they
A lot of
really.
times when I go best kill, that's what I judge it on. A lot of times, what looks the best.
I do my best kill by essentially what I thought was like awesome, what excited me, what kill what kill am I going to remember the most from this movie? It doesn't necessarily have to look the best, but I just kind of go by entertainment. And my favorite kill was Allie because
Oh God,
because I mean, dude.
yeah, but the kill wasn't that cool.
Oh,
Somehow this turkey manages to grab her head and snap her neck with his turkey
his
wings.
turkey dick is inside of her though.
How did he even reach her head?
How did he drive a car? How does he carry an axe? How does he shoot a shotgun?
Why did he
Who
even wear a
knows?
condom? He
Because
didn't want to leave his turkey DNA there.
DNA for sure. They would have,
He's probably in the system from 505 years ago.
Yeah,
He's probably done this
what's
before.
crazy is the cops probably think that dude killed her and then killed himself.
And they're like, why is there gravy everywhere? What the fuck happened here? There's blood and gravy all over the place. No, not even blood. He broke her neck. They're just
well, no, he killed the guy. He sliced his throat, so there's blood.
Oh yeah, blood,
gravy,
and gravy.
Cum all over the place. Oh,
it's fucking gross, man.
So ratings. We rated this one a little slightly different than we normally do, because this is a very low budget movie made by people who never made a movie before. We rated it as a movie, and then we also did a separate rating, which is essentially our enjoyment of the movie. So we each have two versions of ratings. I will go first. As a movie, I rated this movie a 1.6. The cinematography is bad. The acting is bad. The FX are good. The story is bad in an amazing way. Yeah, as a movie, it is, not great. Like if I went into this as somebody who didn't have a sense of humor, I'd be like, this movie sucks. But my enjoyment is a 4. Solid 4. I wasn't a big fan of the characters, but I fucking love Turkey. Basically, the 4 is Turkey. Turkey carries this to a 4 for me.
Turkey, yeah. Turkey is undoubtedly the MVP. He is the David of this movie somehow, and he's the killer.
Oh wait, who was Delilah? Who was our Delilah?
Delilah was, I guess, the closest was Allie.
Allie was the closest. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that I would recommend this movie to watch. But not if you, I guess if you were like somebody who really liked more upscale horror, then I probably wouldn't recommend this to you. But I'd say for the average horror fan, especially if you want to just have some fun with some other people, or even if you just you need a laugh, you want to watch a movie that makes you feel good and makes you laugh, and you're okay with kind of low budget stupid shit, definitely watch this movie. This movie has a cult following, so in my personal opinion, every horror fan should give this movie a chance. It is one of those movies that is liked by a lot of people, and there's a reason for that. So give it a chance. You may not like it, but I definitely think you'll at least find some kind of humor and enjoyment out of it.
All right. Well, I kind of did the rating kind of the same as a movie. As a movie, I gave it a 1.5.
Pretty close, then.
Pretty close. And then overall, I gave it a 3.5.
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close actually. I was surprised. You gave it that extra .1 on the movie, but and then I could see it 4 though overall. I kind of did it as a movie, and then I kind of did just overall like as a movie and how much I liked it. I would say the acting is fucking horrible. The cinematography is a fucking disaster. The story makes absolutely no sense at all. And it's so fucking bad that it's good. I'll say this movie gets a 3.5 for three things. First thing is it's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's just overall it's a fucking hilarious movie. The second thing is Turkey.
Oh yeah.
Turkey is the absolute fucking MVP. He is my favorite Thanksgiving slasher. And there's nobody else that I can think of he could go against. But if there was, he'd probably still be number one. He made the movie, undoubtedly. And then last, the special effects. I thought for the budget of this movie, they were actually pretty good. You look at a lot of B movies and stuff, the effects are really bad. I thought they did a really good job, and this movie is proof that you can have good practical effects with a low budget. And so for all those movies out there who try to CGI and blame it on their budget, they're lying to you, because they did a pretty good job on a between $3,500 and $10,000 budget, somewhere in there. Overall, I would say it's a fun movie. I think that if you're listening this Thanksgiving, you should get your whole entire family together, kids and all, and you should put this movie on, and you should make them watch the entire hour and 7 minutes of it, because it's fantastic. Kids will enjoy it. They'll love it. Guaranteed.
It's fun for the whole family.
Yep. Fun for the whole fucking family. It's a good one. It's if you want to laugh, if you watch this movie and you don't laugh at all, you're probably one of those people who wrote the fucking the critiques on it that he read in the beginning of the movie.
If you don't laugh at all in this movie,
You were dead
you should
inside.
go to like a therapist.
Yeah.
Like there's something in your brain that's broken. There's something in this movie that's funny for everybody, I would think. Well, except for I won't say the kind of people, because I don't want to get people upset, but I could think of somebody who would hate this. But I'm not really surprised about the 0.5 difference though on
Is
the
it
rating.
Pilgrims?
Yes.
Pilgrims.
I don't want to upset Pilgrims. I think I like these stupid movies a little bit more than you do, so I'm not surprised at all about that 0.5 difference.
I mean, 3.5 is good though. I mean, I see a 3.5 as if you've looked at how we've rated movies in the past, there's been some movies I really like that got around to 3.5. I mean, when I think of that, that's a 7 out of 10. That's a good movie. I will watch that.
I am super glad that you gave it 3.5, because I have told you about this movie and I thought that you would enjoy it, and now I finally got you to watch it. And
Well, I struggled rating it. I really did, because it's a horrible fucking movie.
yeah,
It's not a bad movie to watch, but if you're looking like at the cinematography and the acting and the story and everything that normally makes up a good movie, it's all bad. It's absolutely horrible.
Well, that's exactly why I wanted to split the rating up, though, because I had so much fun with this movie, and I watched this movie 20 more times, but I don't want that enjoyment to get dragged down because they didn't really know what they were doing and they didn't have a lot of money. It sucks. I think if they were to go back and make the same exact movie now, it wouldn't have that 1.6 as a movie rating. It would be higher. But yeah, I wanted to split it up because I just didn't want it to get I didn't want it to get fucked up. Like if somebody was just to ask me, if I had to come up with one rating for the whole movie, it would be, I would rate it in the 3s, but
that's kind of how I did my second rating, just the overall. Definitely, like I said, I'm glad you split it up like that, because I struggled really hard coming up with a rating for such a terribly made movie, but such a fun to watch movie at the same time.
but yeah, I think that was a good way to put it, and I feel like I feel like we did this movie justice. This was probably my funnest episode we have recorded. So I am very much looking forward to doing the sequel. You can 100% guarantee we will cover Thankskilling 3 on this show. Whether or not we'll make it all the way to Thanksgiving before we cover it, I don't know, but we're going to try. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you want to help support the show, tell a friend, a family member, your weird, nerdy friend who wipes his mouth too much. We hope you guys have an awesome Thanksgiving. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. There's a review at the end of this episode, and just pretty much let us know what you think. And hit us up on one of the socials. You got any last words?
I would just say it's important, it's all fun and games doing the podcast, but this Thanksgiving, just remember why we celebrate Thanksgiving. Think about the things that are important to you. We all celebrate Thanksgiving for killer turkeys. Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
This episode is harder to close than the John Benet Ramsey case.
There's no better